and welcome to the Netty cooking channel. Now in this recipe today I'm going to be making meatballs. Now meatballs are famous from being from Italy, but I realise now that depending on which region in Italy it's completely different. So what could be meatball recipe in one part of Italy could be completely different to up north from the south part. So all different regions, all different types. And I found that out from watching a YouTube channel called Pasta Grammar, which has given me a lot of influence and tips and tricks in cooking, and I really enjoy it. So please do check out the Pasta Grammar channel. I'll put a link in the description below if you've not seen it already, and I'll just pop a picture in a sec so you can see Harper and Eva, I'm not sure which, but definitely big shout out. Obviously I'm British, as a British person cooking meatballs, so probably Italian people would be quite angry with some of the things I do, but bella, mamma mia. So this is a healthier recipe, so I'm using turkey mince. Now I'd use for this recipe, with all the quantities, a kilogram. It is better with sausage meat and with beef. And 1 red onion there. You can use white if you want to. 1 can of chopped tomatoes. I realise that's plum and not chopped. 1 egg. Now optional, what me and my partner like is mushrooms. You can put as many of them as you want in it. Field mushrooms if you want. 2 garlic cloves. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. There's a mix of dried herbs, but it is better to use fresh in my humble. Fresh breadcrumbs, which I've made as well. And also some olive oil, which some Italians might be angry at me that they don't like that particular olive oil. I don't blame you. This is just my version, and then bits which I've picked up from watching the Pasta Grammar channel. So first thing I'm going to do is put a fresh free range egg in that and add the turkey mince and also the breadcrumb. Now what I found to do from watching Pasta Grammar is in volume the same amount of breadcrumbs as meat, which I didn't know. And also, actually good timing with the garlic is to chop the garlic in half and take the root out so it hasn't got that smell in the house for days. But these are such tiny cloves, I couldn't get the usual big ones that I do. In the supermarket where I usually do my shopping, they have these oak smoked ones and they're really nice. Actually, to be honest with you, the smell is really nice, but I don't really notice much of a tasting difference. It's 65p for a bulb, and either you get this, at first we were getting these really large ones and they seem to have gone smaller and smaller. I don't know if it's the season or what. So I've added the garlic, I've added half of the herbs, and again do use fresh herbs preferably. I like to clean as I go there, as you can see. And I'm going to mix all of that meatball mixture together. Now what is preferable is to do this with your hands. I don't personally like the feeling of it, but it will, more tender you can get that mince, the better the meatballs are going to turn out. So as you can see, these pans and that dish is terrible. There is a video coming up where I'm going to try some cleaning hacks which I've seen on Instagram. I want to kind of see how well they work, and so watch out for that. That's the reason why I showed that. So hopefully next video I'm going to show that. Now also different is I make quite big meatballs compared to, you could probably get about 50 small ones out of that maybe. Now these are specifically for my partner. I've made him 6 to go with this and 6 to go in maybe a sandwich or something like that, because they are really nice. in a sandwich, a toasty, or maybe a sub sandwich is very nice. So I'm gonna cook them in the oven. I know sometimes people prefer to fry them, so you fry them in the pan first, but I am going to cook them for 20 minutes in the oven at 220 degrees Celsius. That's 200 fan and gas mark 7, and I'm just going to drizzle some of that olive oil onto them as well. So now we're going to start making the sauce, and I've got the other garlic clove there. One garlic clove has gone into the meatball mixture, the other garlic clove is going into the sauce. So I've put half of the herb mix into the meatball and half of the herb mix into the sauce as well. Chop my red onion there. That was my last one, so it is quite a small one. And I'm going to finely cube that up and cut it by hand there. So another ingredient sometimes I add, but I haven't got any at the minute, is a tablespoon of Worcester sauce as well, which adds a really nice flavour to the sauce. Or you can actually add that into the meatballs as well. And another thing I've noticed is some people actually like to add chilli, which preferably I don't. I don't think spicy goes well because there's enough flavours going on as it is with the meatballs that I don't think that you really need that spice, but that is personal preference. Another thing I've done before in the past is when I'm making the meatballs up is to put a little square of mozzarella inside the meatball, so as it cooks it melts inside it, so you can get that nice cheese ball as you cut them open. So cheese stuffed mozzarella meatballs is very nice as well. I've also heard of people adding smoked paprika, a tablespoon of, and then maybe also in the meatball mix chorizo or good quality sausage meat, and just take the skin off it. Yeah, take it out the casing. Beef is also nice. I've also made in the past venison, wild boar mince, because I can eat venison and wild boar. It's just I'm allergic to chicken, turkey, pork, beef, among a few other things. So another thing that I've done different here, and it's just a personal preference with my partner, is to have Gouda, which is Dutch and Italian. 2 slices of Gouda on the top, you'll see. It's also nice to put, is it called Parmigiano Reggiano? Sprinkle that on the top. Maybe put some of that into the meatball mix as well. And also obviously served with spaghetti and serve with spaghetti, or in this case we're having this with noodles. So as you can see, the meatballs have been cooked now thoroughly, made sure they're cooked right through, and I'm going to coat them in the sauce and then just wait for the noodles to completely boil. Really, they only take about 2 minutes, something like that. You could also add to the sauce 125 millilitres of red wine. And to serve is really nice is fresh basil as well, because the smell of the basil is absolutely divine. So we'll just let those noodles come to the boil now, and we'll be ready for the next bit of the recipe. So we're ready to serve the meatballs now. First I'm going to put the noodle base on, which please don't shout at me, Italian people, and also the meatballs as well. And we're going to top that with 2 slices of Gouda. So obviously use Parmigiano Reggiano instead. I hope that was enjoyable and informative, and if you have any suggestions to add to this recipe, please do let me know. And also, if you want me to change anything into a vegan, gluten-free, allergy-free recipe, I'm always happy to do that as well. I think I've seen in our local supermarket in Asda they do some amazing meatballs which are vegan and also gluten-free as well, which was quite a rare find, but it seems to be becoming more of a thing. So all that's left to say is thank you for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye for now.